All right. Amber Hunt, please ask the next question to Richard Sulaka. Amber?
Okay. Obviously, the city of Warren is seeing a surge in its South End diversity population. We're seeing more African Americans, more Mexicans, more Asians. What kinds of challenges do you see that is bringing to the city, if any?
Well, I think that we have to be understanding of all the different diverse communities that are coming into the city of Warren. And I would work with the school districts. I think the city needs to work hand in hand with the school districts. And I welcome young families to come into Warren to make sure that the homes that are in foreclosure, the vacant homes, the vacant schools come in. And I will work with like I said, we'll work with the school districts to make sure that we are able to provide whatever needs to be provided for them people to come together in Warren, because Warren is a melting pot of all different communities, German, Ukrainian, Polish, African American, and I think we have to address that situation, and I will when I become mayor.
Jim Fouts?
Would you repeat that question again so I make sure I got it? Thank you.
The diversity on the South End is growing. We have more minority populations there. Does that bring any challenges to the city?
Well, I think Warren is a small microcosm of the United States. Multi-ethnic development is throughout the United States. I believe a majority of people in kindergarten and public schools are or will soon be a minority, Hispanic, or what have you. So certainly we have to keep that in mind. But I want to remind my opponent, he said I don't understand family values. I've been helping Warren families for 26 years with a variety of neighborhood concerns. When my opponent was on the council with me, he was angry because I would bring up neighborhood concerns on the council. He wasn't interested in helping Warren families with neighborhood concerns. As a matter of fact, he proposed removing me as council president because he got tired of me bringing up neighborhood concerns. So I have family values too, Mr. Sulaka. The thing is that I'm not interested in helping out family members like Elham Shayota, your first cousin. I'm interested in helping out Warren families with their neighborhood concerns.
Okay, Amber, follow-up?
Yes, I'm also curious in terms of the growing diversity. Do you think that, say, the city's police department should also reflect that growth and diversity in terms of who is on staff?
I have no objection to the police reflecting that diversity. I just want to state that if I become mayor, I'm going to represent all people regardless of race, creed, ethnic, or financial concern. And if you went to my fundraiser, if you went to my victory party on election night, I had a wide variety of people that represented all races and all ethnics. And they were there because they want a voice in city government. They want city government to speak for them and not the special interest groups of my opponent. That's why I only raised $11,000 to my opponents, $220,000. And when I become mayor, I will represent all of the people because I don't have the financial obligations that my opponent does.
Mr. Sulaka?
First of all, let me address the situation with neighborhood concerns. Mr. Fouts, again, is not telling the truth. Neighborhood concerns, the reason that Mr. Fouts marches these residents to the city council meeting only because he wants the airtime, only because he wants them to. He's never resolved the problem. He can't resolve the problem. He has to understand he's a legislator. A legislator and an administrator are two different bodies. He can't tell the administration what to do, and he knows that. But he'll sit there and bring the residents into the city council meeting and let them go to the council meeting and allow them to speak, and he can't get the job done. That's the problem with my opponent. My opponent has never been able to get the job done, has never been able to build consensus, and has never been able to put 5 votes together on the city council. Again, failed leadership on the part of Mr. Fouts.
All right. Brian Lowers, please ask Jim Fouts the next question. Brian?
Jim, the city currently runs a fund balance as part of its budget. It's millions of dollars. Some believe that keeping that balance, some folks at City Hall believe that keeping it is critical to maintaining the city's high bond rating. How do you weigh those concerns with spending a portion of it to restore services or add new services? Well,
the bond rating, I think, is predicated on all this bonding that we keep doing. the city has gone out of control on bonding, such as Mr. Sulaka's Elham Shiota Sigma and Associates is a bonding for $6 million. We have more bondings related to Elham Shiota, and the city needs to put a stop to excess bonding because you can't continue to bond and spend money you don't have. So that's where we can take care of that problem as far as I'm concerned. And I think eliminating rigged bid, no bid contracts, also eliminating positions that we don't need, like the police chief, like the deputy mayor, like the outside counsel that we have for our labor relations department. There are areas that we can save the taxpayers money, and on a regular basis, which is what Mr. Sulaka never did when he was on the council, I go through the list of bills and I raise questions about wasteful expenditure of taxpayer money, like Elham Shiota Sigma contract.
Mr. Sulaka, rebuttal.
I think it's very important to maintain our bond rating. I think that I know that the bond that the percentage that the finance companies charge the city of Warren is directly related to the bond rating. And I understand that if our bond rating goes down, that it'll cost more to the taxpayers. Something that Mr. Fouts doesn't understand. Mr. Fouts' proposals to bring back the helicopter. I'd like to ask you, Mr. Fouts, do you know how much it's going to cost to bring back the helicopter? Because I do, because I investigated it. I didn't make these wild promises to people. It'll cost the city of Warren $5 million. All the promises you've made to the Warren residents will cost the city $27 million. Do you know what our rainy day fund is? Do you know you would spend every dime of our rainy day fund? You will bankrupt this city, Mr. Fouts. So you want to talk about who understands budgets and who doesn't understand budgets?